Hi, my name is Lindsay Lyons, and for my service project, I chose to work with the leadership team of TFC Northwest, Teens for Christ Northwest. And basically what TFC does is it brings together a bunch of Christian teens from all different denominations, and mainly it's a Bible quizzing league, but we also do some service projects and a couple just for fun events. And one of our bigger events every year is our New Year's Eve lock-in. At the meetings before, while we're planning the lock-in, we always divvy up different assignments, and this year I got put in charge of decorating the church we were going to be using. Now, I love to decorate, and when the day finally came, I was running around all over the church putting balloons everywhere and signs, and it was a ton of fun. But I got stuck on the centerpiece, and while I was fiddling around with it and trying to decide what to do, I noticed there was a girl, and she was a bit younger than me, and I'd known her for a little while. And I happened to know that she was really into decorating and just aesthetically was very good at that kind of work. And so I asked her, what do you think we should do with this centerpiece? It just isn't looking right. And she looked at it a little bit. And after a couple minutes, she says, okay, so I think you should take the second one away and just leave the middle one. That would even it out a little bit better, and then like arrange the lights this way. And I did it, and it looked fantastic. And I said, wow, that looks amazing. And she got the hugest grin on her face, like she just designed a dress for the Grammys or something. And that got me really excited because I realized that, wow, this was really encouraging for her. So I asked her, do you want to help me decorate the rest of the church? And she got super excited, and we ended up running around everywhere and decorating the rest of the church, and it was a ton of fun. And it just taught me, when you share a passion with someone, and if the person happens to be younger than you, it's really, really easy to be able to guide them and mentor them almost in that particular area, and it just opens it up for many other conversations, and we learned a lot about each other. It was a ton of fun. But the rest of the night went fairly well. There was only a couple issues with our chaperoning, which was an unfortunate loophole, and our organized prayer time. Every year at the lock-in, we usher in the new year with some prayer, and it's usually awesome, and we get to encourage one another, pray for one another, pray for the church, for the country, for our leaders. And we thank God for how the year has gone and for this new year He's given us. But this year it was a little different because the student leadership team was leading the different groups that separated off to pray. And the groups were all quite a bit younger than we were used to. And I actually don't think, personally, in my group, that they had ever had an opportunity to pray in a group setting before, and trying to teach them and pray in the time we had wasn't working out. It ended up being pretty much just a disaster. But a few days later, when we got together for our leadership team meeting, I found out that everyone else had the same problem. And so our director asked us, what do you guys think you could do differently? How could you make this better next year? And we started brainstorming, and we came up with a solution, which basically is next year, when people are coming in, we're going to be separating them up into younger groups and older groups. And the younger groups, when it comes time to pray, are going to have adult leaders as well as a student leader. And that way, the adult leader can be teaching the student leader some techniques while they're teaching the younger kids to pray. And we all decided it would be a really effective way of not only teaching, obviously, the younger kids how to pray, but for the student leadership team to learn how to lead a group like that. And we're pretty excited about how that's going to work next year. But the other issue, the chaperoning, wasn't a huge deal. It was unfortunate, though, because I happened to see some of it, and unfortunately I did not act in a way that would have effectively solved the problem, because I had noticed that there were some kids running around and marking up sleeping people's faces with Sharpie, and Unfortunately, in my sleep-deprived state of mind, I told them not to mark up the girls' faces, but only the guys. And looking back, I realized how retarded that was. But the bigger issue was some girls had gone into the guys' sleeping area to mark up faces, and that wasn't appropriate. So basically what we decided was we were going to push the guys' sleeping area as far away as possible from the girls' sleeping area and just really be keeping those two groups separate. And personally, what I've decided is when I notice something wrong, especially when I'm very tired, I should not necessarily take it as lightly as I generally do, especially if I'm in a leadership position, and that's when I should probably crack down a little bit harder and focus on what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, I learned quite a bit, and I definitely learned a bunch about the kids that I stayed up all night with, and it was a lot of fun. And I know that other people got to learn more about me, and yeah, we really enjoyed ourselves.